I have formulated a PPT about various questions which were asked in the previous examination. Okay, so we will go one by one, and I'm really happy and surprised that 25 students out of 126 people who have registered have responded to the homework given. Rest who has not responded, I assume they are taking it easy. They think it is a fun, it is a morning walk, and they would attempt in 20 minutes in FTI entrance exam, which is not going to happen for sure. So many a times you will find my statement as nasty. Many a times you will find my statement as mocking of you, but that's the way it is. If 25 people can write their answer whatsoever they feel, and some of them have really written a brilliant answers. I was not able to read all, but I could read almost 15 or 20 answers. Last after 4 o'clock, I don't read because I prepare my things. I don't come here without preparation. So I hope one day rest of the people will wake up. 126 people have registered, 73 are here. Rest, I suppose they are having a picnic. So lesser the people are here, better it is for you. And lesser of you respond to the homework, better it is for those who are working hard. So good luck for those who are working hard, and rest. One day, when you don't see your name in the list, don't be surprised. This is my statement. Take a pen and paper, write it down, put it at 10 places in your wall after taking a printout of that statement. Don't be surprised if you don't see your name in the list. Okay? So let's not waste the time. Already 10 minutes are being wasted for some reason or other. We'll concentrate on today's work. So in the previous year question paper, I would take up some of the questions. Examine any one performance of any of the actors. Yesterday, I told you the trick, how to go about it. Today, I will discuss a little bit more deeply into it because every year this particular question comes. Okay. So first thing is, how do you examine a performance of an actor? If you are very honest, you don't want to be influenced by other people's opinion, you don't want to read any review written by anybody, you want to evaluate by your own senses. So how you're going to do that? That's the question. So first thing is, in a film, whichever film you choose, there are physical characteristics of an actor, which means he has a height, he has a weight, he has an age, he has a complexion, he has ethnicity, his speaking style. Do you remember Lauren Hardy? This slim guy and this fatty boy. Why do you remember? Because of their height and weight. Am I right? Now, speaking style is a very, very important thing. We make mimicry of many of our teachers in the school days. Why? Why we do it? Because they had a distinct speaking style. So character may have a distinct speaking style in a particular film, which is not very often. You get to see it here and there. So that's one thing you need to notice it. So here talk about the characterization of the character the actor is playing. So when we talk about characterization, I would share an important book about the characterization. When you talk about the characterization, what does it mean? It's a PDF file. Tomorrow I'll load it. And I hope that one day you will make a printout and would start reading it. Having a PDF file is not enough, but you need to start reading it, maybe 5 pages a day, maybe 2 pages a day, slowly, slowly, but steadily. So that's one thing. Second is, analyze the change. What does it mean? So when you look at the performance of an actor, do you find some kind of graph is there, or is he remain same throughout the film? No, he don't remain the same. So some kind of change are being carried by the actor in his look, in his performance, in his couple of things. So the actor brought in the character in terms of facial and vocal characteristic. As I was discussing yesterday, the Irfan's performance into his film called Namesake. How does he start bending his body as per his age, and how does he bite his lips? So small characteristics are always there that you need to notice. Learning new language or any skill. What does it mean? In the entire graph, do you find the changes in terms of the skills? Maybe the actor was fool in the beginning. And I remember long back, there was a film about Sadhana. She was a simple girl, very Bhanjish character, and slowly she became very modern. And in the end, she's being sort of a girl in the film. I don't remember the exact name of the film, but I would try to figure it out. Sadhana, I would write down here. So that's what you need to notice it, how he or she molded himself to the character, how different his appearance was from his actual appearance. Now, this is something also important because today there is something called prosthetic. Prosthetic is that a 20-year person old may look like 40, 30-year person may look like 60. So prosthetic is a very, very important film. You must watch a film called Amadeus, directed by Milos Forman. It's look like a film about this great performer, the musician Mozart, but actually it is about his rival called Salieri. So how the film begins when he is old and how he talk about his hatred and jealousy for the Mozart's music. That's a very interesting film which got many Oscar for the Milos Forman. So appearance is a very, very important film, that how Salieri start with the old and slowly in a flashback, you get to see the Salieri and he got a best supporting actor for that particular film. Not a big star, but he got an Oscar. So Oscar is basically not for the big star always. It is also sometimes the people who are not well known in the industry. So describe the acting style. Now, what is something called acting style? This is a very, very important thing. Acting style. There are various techniques of acting which would be talked about, not me, by an expert from National School of Drama. I am trying to get in touch with one or two people. Hopefully last 2 days will not be me, some other people, but I would be moderating the session for you people because they are the expert on the subject. I'm not an expert, though I have an interest. I read a lot about acting, and actor handling is one of my favorite subject. If you ask me which is my favorite subject, I would say actor handling. I'm not an actor, but it's very important for a director to understand. So acting style, is it a method acting? Is it something else? Plus then genre, whether it's a comic, whether it's serious, romantic, tragic, all these small things you need to notice out. Why do you, in the college, you might have felt many times that one of the boys is a Casanova. He goes into the canteen with one girl and comes out of the canteen with another girl. So what is so romantic about him? That you need to pinpoint. Whether he bring that romanticism in a proper way or not. If it is tragedy, does the tragedy happens? Do you really believe in the way it is being depicted in the film? Do you really feel for it? Sometimes it happens that you watch a film, you really feel for a character. It means the character has done something to you inside your mind, your heart, and that's why you are not the same person when you come out of watching a play or a film. So when I say you enter in a film, in a cinema hall or a theater hall, and when you come out, if you are not the same person, then it means it was a successful theatrical production or a film. That's my criteria. I should not be the same person. Traits and function of the character portrayed in the film. Now this is a little very systematic subject. You need to figure it out, his body language, you need to figure it out his way of talking, you need to figure it out, a couple of things. Recently, there was a film of Anushka Sharma in which she played a character who is always sitting on her chair and not able to speak properly. And then there are other characters, but not just performing anybody who's disabled means you will be able to perform well, not by changing your voice or pronunciation and diction, but it should look convincing to many people. And that's the challenge for an actor, that how convincingly you can make your character look to others while you are performing. That's another important thing. Now here, I mentioned yesterday, don't say that it's it's a wonderful film, it's a wonderful character, wonderful this, wonderful that, nice this, nice that. No. Pinpoint. That's my theory. So describe a key scene, which means a few scenes, depending upon how many marks the question paper is. Question is about 5 marks or 2.5 marks or 10 marks, in which this actor plays an important role, and tell what idea and or feeling is communicated by the scene. So these are the agenda you have to write down. Why this scene you believe is important, what exactly is happening in this scene, and why you believe that this particular scene is important for you. So you need to pinpoint things. Whatever you describe, you need to pinpoint. That's the key to securing a good marks, rather than just beating around the bush. I again and again will emphasize that don't beat around the bush. That's many people do it. So that's the only thing I wanted to say. Now, another important question came over there. That was the general question that comes every year. Sometimes this specific question comes. It's a very, very natural question, which many a times you will ask also yourself. What is acting? If you ask this question 100 people, you will find 100 definitions. Maybe 10 definitions would be similar because they are being given by some big theorist of acting. So people mug it up and sometimes they reproduce that. But here I have many people from National School of Drama comes over here to teach in our institute, and very often I interact with them that what is an acting for you. So on and off, I have collected various answers from various people. So acting is pretending to be someone or something else. I am not a King Lear, but if I am performing a King Lear on the stage, I need to pretend that I am a King Lear. The art or occupation of performing fictional roles in play, films or television. Art or occupation. Why it is called occupation? There's a difference between profession and occupation. Occupation is also a temporary phenomenon. You are a King Lear for 2 hours, as long as the play is over, or as long as the film is over. In play, you are real. In film, you are virtual. So fictional roles into either film or television or whatever plays, all these 3 forms are being mentioned over here. So you are performing a fictional role which you are not actually. So acting is an activity in which a story is told by means of its enactment by an actor or actress who adopts a character, which means I may not be the way Anushka Sharma was, for example, I'm giving you, but in that particular role, she entered into the skin of the role and tried to enact the way she is. So it is the same thing. Mime is also a very important art. I will talk about something later on in the mime, or maybe somebody else, I will get somebody to talk about it. Mime is a very, very important art of an acting. Acting is behaving truthfully within imaginary circumstances. It is about being someone which you are not, depicting a character which is believably pretended. You know that on the screen that all that is happening is not true. But when the light goes off, you start crying, you know there is a projector behind, you know the screen is fake, but somehow it moves you. And that's why it is called movie. Something which moves you is called movie. Acting is also expressing the appropriate emotion with the help of voice, facial expression, and gesture. These are the 3 tools an actor has: voice, facial expression, and gesture. I would say body language. Body language is a better word. Gesture is the one part of the body language. So these are the something. Now, a very simple question people would ask you, why you want to be an actor? A very, very simple question. Everybody has an answer for it. I'm sure everybody has an answer. But again, I have put down a few thoughts over here because they would ask you why you would like to undergo the training. अपना सीधा सीधा ट्रेन पकड़ो, बॉम्बे जाओ, कहाँ चक्रों में पड़े हो, FTI जाएंगे, फिर 2 साल बर्बाद करेंगे, उसके लिए 1.5 साल बर्बाद करेंगे पहले, और उसमें से 4,000 लोगों में से 3,990 people would fail for sure. This is a destiny's plan. This is not my plan. But you are still hoping you may be among 10. Maybe. So why you want to be among those maybe people? Because you want to undergo a training. The question is, why you want to be trained? So training is an important part, as I said, that so I would talk about few things which are very important for you to understand. I want to undergo the training first to learn the craft. So acting is not an art, it is a craft. It is a craft because it can be learned. Like you learn the Photoshop, you learn various other things, you learn the cycling, you learn the car driving. Similarly, it is also a craft which you need to learn. But there is a difference between driving a car and doing an acting. Driving a car is not a creative aspect. You can't say I am a creative driver and somebody else says that I am a non-creative driver. He will say I am a careful driver, somebody else is a careless driver. But here there is something else is also involved, like creativity. So like a doctor, engineer, a doctor cannot say I am a creative doctor. Engineer can't say I am a creative doctor. Sports person, swimmer cannot say I am a very creative swimmer. No, you are not a creative. So that's the difference. So though it is art, but it is a creative art. There is some kind of creativity involved which will distinguish a work of Picasso from the Van Gogh. The work of an actor of Naseeruddin Shah from somebody else called Anupam Kher, for example. So they don't like each other, but that's the way it is. I believe like any other art form, acting is also an craft that needs to be learned, turning my passion into profession. Now this is a very important thing. As I told, I don't know you people or someone else, when I was doing my graduation, my reason of taking up, why I learned the photography, because I learned science in 12th and then BSc physics chemistry, and I realized that my knowledge of physics chemistry should be utilized in my profession. So I thought photography is something in which lens means physics and negative means processing chemistry. So physics and chemistry is a part of this profession, and then obviously there is an art. So physics and chemistry is the first thing, and then it is a blending, integrating with the art. So that's why I chose photography as my profession. But here the physics chemistry is missing. So you can't say that because I did the physics honors and chemistry honors and I wanted to convert into my passion. No. So here is something which you felt for it for at some point or other in your life. And then you decided that I want to turn it into my profession. Maybe in the college you are doing some street plays, maybe some stage production, and you enjoy doing it. And you thought, can I make it a profession? If I can make a profession, why not I should try it. So that's the reason. Practical training helps to recreate the process of time and again. What does it mean? Practical training helps to recreate the process of time and again. It means that whatever character you want to live, it is not alive now. It was alive 100 years back, 200 years back, or maybe 50 years back, or maybe in the mythology only. So now you want to recreate that. So the training would help you in that manner. It will help me to gather knowledge about different acting techniques. As I said, there are 20 important people in the history of acting methods, acting techniques, and roughly 10 are very, very important and 5 are the most important. So once you join an acting school, you would be able to learn these techniques, understand their thing, but not just by listening to the classroom, but also reading a thick book of 200 pages by these 10 important people, and not only their book, but also the interpretation of one master about that particular person. It is not about that person's work, but somebody else also commentary on that. So that's equally important. Sometimes the book written by the man is very complex and you need a commentary by other people. So training technique, I want to take it up as a career, and that training will help me to be a professional. Very important. Very, very important. Something which is missing out of these words is the confidence. I want to take it up as my career, and training will help me to develop the confidence and hence a professional. Once you develop a confidence, yes, I can qualify the audition, yes, I can do it, So you are a professional. So my definition of professional is somebody who earn his bread and butter out of that profession is called professional. So there are many people who are performing as an actor on the stage as a amateur, but they are never able to earn the bread and butter. But at the same time, I would also say there are people who are earning their bread and butter out of the acting profession on the stage. So they are professionals. May not be too much of money, but yes, they are professionals. I can gather knowledge not only about the acting, but also about literature, music, dance, painting, other art form. There was a question that as an actor, are you supposed to know other art form like literature, music, dance, painting? We'll discuss that later on. So in any institution, you would learn about all these things because it is an integrated course. If the course is of 2 years, definitely you will have some classes on the music and other art forms also, because as an actor, you need to learn. But if the course is short term, say for example 6 months, you may not be having the privilege to knowing on that. So 2 years is an ideal thing, but if you're not able to attend a 2-year program, you can attend a short term program of 6 months at least. It will help me to be aware of my limitation and also what are my limitations and how I can overcome them. Now, when I'm getting trained, a teacher will tell me, look, you have a problem. I was reading autobiography of the Nasiruddin Shah, and he says in that Ibrahim Al-Qaji used to tell me, which I was very conscious of, that I speak with a nasal sound, as if I'm speaking through my nose. So I was very, very conscious of that. But somehow that also gave him a distinct style, I would say. That is, drawback was also became his strength. But that's amazing capability he has as an actor. So that's another thing you would come to know. I can undergo a deeper understanding of the art form, which will help me to overcome the basic understanding. What does it mean? Sometimes you feel that is very easy. अरे dialogue acting में क्या है, बस जाके dialogue तो बोलना होता है कैमरे के आगे. तो जब आप ट्रेनिंग में जाएंगे तो आपको समझ आएगा कि इतना सिंपल नहीं है जितना सिंपल आप सोच रहे हैं. It is much more tougher when you need to create a character of some ready wala, somebody else who is a sabji wala, somebody else who is selling the jamun outside, somebody else who is selling some vegetables. If you have to play that character, how you would create that sound. Maybe tomorrow I will begin with that video of a friend of mine in which how he created a couple of sounds just for the fun of it. But let me just write down so that I'll remember. It is just a 5-minute video, but it's amazing. You would love it. I at least loved it. Last, it will give me a confidence I have already taken up to take it up as my profession, contribute in the something is being written, contribute in my own way. So whether you contribute or not, but at least you would be there. If you are being accepted by the industry, you would be there for sure. So that's another thing. Now, a very important thing, a very, very important thing. You are depending upon, you are a parasite. I would not say parasite, but you are a dependent. When you are a kid, when you are born out of your mother's womb, you are a little kid of 2 months, 5 months, 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year. You remain dependent upon your father till you become 20, 22, 24 and you start earning. But the actor is always dependent upon a director. Whatever big star you will become, you always wanted to work with a good director. Always. And as an actor or as a star, you know that this director is a fool with whom you are working, but you are doing it for a money sake and you don't respect. And hence, you will always come out with Aag ka gola, Aag hi aag, Aag mein se nikal jao, Aag mein kood jao. All those Govinda kind of films, you will always get to see. Why? Because you know the director is a fool, he is a manager. He's not a fool, he's a manager. He knows how to convince someone to put his hard-earned money on his shoulder, and he will give a bankable film which will be a commercial success. But as an intelligent actor, you would always like to choose a director. Long back, a friend of mine sad. His name is, I'll tell you, he made a film called Vastu Shastra, and he passed away a couple of years back. When he came to do a workshop in our film school, he made a very wonderful statement. He said that the stars, you don't choose the stars. As a director, you don't choose the stars, but the stars will choose you. Saurabh Narang was his name. I remember this by Saurabh Dikshit. Saurabh Narang was his name, and he said, it is not the star you choose, it is the star who will choose you. What does it mean? As an actor, they will decide whether they will want to work with you. Maybe just for a money, or maybe for a artistic satisfaction. Many years back, in my childhood, I used to read this magazine called Filmi Kaliyan. Later on, I became very friendly with him. The person who used to write there as an advisor, Mr. Brajeshu Madan. I mentioned his name last time also. The first critics who got the National Award for writing in India for Hindi language. Many Hindi language people are nonsense, useless. They write some shit and bullshit in Hindi. That's why it is not being respected, and they never got for so many years. Till Madan Saab was the first person who wrote sensible thing and received the National Award for writing for his cinema. So Madan Saab took an interview of someone, and it was Amrish Puri basically, and Amrish Puri said, an actor wants two things. One of the things. Either you go to an actor with a wonderful role and he will do free. And if you don't have a role, give him the money, he would do it. And if you don't have a money, apna rasta na po. So either role or money, and that's it. So coming to here, how you would choose a director to work with if you have a choice. If you want to work with, now question is, they are asking you, you are an actor, and if for some reason, if you have a choice, how you would like to choose a director. So here, few points are here, I have just enumerated. The choices are very personal approach. I would say choose a director who make dynamic films. अब ये dynamic film क्या होता है? All films are dynamic? No. Think when the COVID was not there, when cinema hall films were released, in a 6 month, how many films you went to see? How many films you went to see, and which were those films, and why did you go to see them? So that's the reason. Because it was a dynamic film, it was also to some extent, today particularly, you don't just go watch a film of Akshay Kumar. You also see a name of the director attached to it. Otherwise, you may not go to watch a film. Akshay Kumar has become sensible now. Earlier, he used to do Khiladi 420, Khiladi 460, Khiladi 40, Khiladi number 1, Khiladi number 2, all those kind of things he has stopped now. He got the wisdom that you can't survive in a long run. So you need to have a sensibility in the commercial cinema. So all, at least 7-8 films of him in the past has that kind of a thing. So first thing is the dynamic films, which appeals to you. Why you go to watch a particular director's film. So that's one consideration. Avoid director who make commercial Bollywood masala. 3 important terms: commercial, Bollywood, and masala. That's a very strange combination, which fits most of the time to Salman Khan. Salman Khan would always do a Bollywood film, always do a masala film, always do a commercial. But at the same time, there are many people who do a Bollywood film, but not masala. But at the same time, it also has a commercial value. It also has a commercial value. So that is another combination, because at the end of the day, you need to earn money. You need to run your kitchen. You can't standing on the road and begging. You still want to earn your bread and butter comfortably. Now, big stars has a choice, but you will say, sir, I am a beginner. I don't have a choice. What to do? So my criteria is be very clear about the reason of choosing, working with a particular director. I will give you an example, Vishal Bhardwaj. Or for that matter, some other director, say for example, Diwakar Banerjee. I will quote one particular example from a film of Diwakar Banerjee, Oye Lucky Lucky Oye. In the film of Oye Lucky Lucky Oye, there is a waiter. Now, if I ask you, you are a National Store Drama graduate, have a 10-year experience, or maybe 15-year experience. He is a batchmate of Nawazuddin Siddiqui. So you could think that Siddiqui could make it big, but he was not. He was still in the making. So somebody asked, there is a character of waiter. Waiter, you have to perform. So you would laugh. Yeah, why are you asking me to perform a waiter? But I would say that even a character of a waiter. Remember the character of a waiter in Oi Lucky Lucky Oi. If you have not seen it, watch this film tomorrow and think of the character of a waiter. It's a small role of a maximum 5 minutes. When this Sardarji comes along with his girlfriend to influence him or her into a restaurant, and he knows, the waiter knows that he doesn't have money, he's there just to fool around, to impress the girl. So how he reacts, waiter will not react in that tone and that style and that mannerism. But he knows this boy, waiter is a bond now, because this boy don't have money. So how a small character of a waiter can be important. So even if you're performing, also I remember another character, another friend of mine who did a small role in Sardar Patel. He's a Nizam of Hyderabad and he has a meeting with the Sardar Patel. And Sardar Patel calls him and he keeps him in a guest house, and next day there's a meeting. It's a 3-minute role. Amazing small role of 3 minutes. Just for that particular scene, you must watch it. That small role can also give you some kind of identity, because it remains, it leaves some impact. So that's another thing. As a beginner, you should think not in terms of a big name and a big role, but also as a small role. But it should have a character. Collect information about the director, which means you have to watch the previous film of the director, watch his, if he's advertising filmmaker, what kind of ad film he has done, even if it is ad film for that matter. Think about liking and disliking about his style of work. Do you really like his work? Suppose somebody will ask me, why do I like Vishal Bhardwaj's work? I can keep going for 30 minutes why I like Vishal Bhardwaj as a director. I have my reasons. Okay. So that's another thing you need to think. What in particular you want to learn from this director and how it will help you as an actor in future. I remember Abhishek Bachchan saying about JP Datta, that JP Datta, even if he makes an animation film, I want to act in it. It's a very humble statement by Abhishek. He really liked his work, and because he was a mentor, that was one thing. But he really liked JP Datta's work. So that's another thing why you want, what you will learn out of it. That's also thing which you need to figure it out. As I said about Dibakar Banerjee, Oi Lucky Lucky, because there are very Delhi-centric dialogue and there are small characters which are very, very important in that film. So you have to pinpoint your reasons why you like a particular director. Mention about his genre, filmmaking, comical, romantic, patriotic, thriller. There are people like Ashutosh Gawarikar. He will make periodic films, war films nowadays, and which has a big scale. There's a war happening and then there's a love story in between. So everybody has a style of doing it. So why you like certain kind of film? Maybe because you are working in his film, it's a big scale film. You get to see a scale, how he handled the scale. I want to learn that thing while working in his film. So that could be another reason. Name his film you have seen and liked, and let the examiner know about your research. As I said, that why I like Vishal Bhardwaj film, I can pinpoint 10 points. Why do I like its work in a very, very specific manner. Very, very specific manner. So that will impress the examiner when you write an answer. Mention a particular film which has inspired you to work with him. And as an actor, how this director will help you to grow, which I've already mentioned over here. So just a repetition. So be clear, be logical. More the clarity you have in your mind, more beneficial it will be. As I said, logical means there has to be a reason. There has to be a pinpoint. You should be able to pinpoint why you want to work with a particular director. Okay. Now, what is acting and how you would like to undergo the training? This we have already discussed. This question is already being covered. Now, yesterday I discussed the performance of an actor. But in previous one of the years, there was a question. And question was, name any one of the performer or performance in a film that you feel overrated. Now, overrated and underrated are two terms which are very often used in the performance of an actor. So you need to understand what do you mean by overrated. So overrating is when someone or something is appreciated more than he or she deserves. This is a simple definition you can find out from any book. But more important is why you think a particular performance is overrated. You have to pinpoint. You have to pinpoint in the sense, be specific about the actor or performance. Mention the film if it is a performance. If it is an actor's mention in the various films where he has not given the deserved performance. So you can't say generally, for example, for many of the films, I found Irfan as an overrated actor. Many of the films. But in some of the film, yesterday particularly The Namesake, I found his acting was totally different from what he has done in the other film. Many of his film I found are kind of a repetition. He remains same, he remains similar. But an actor which I thought that he is overrated, but when I watched The Namesake many years back, I did not see when it was released, but I watched the film many years back, and I found that film has something unique, something which is different from the rest of his film. I would say 80% of his film which he has done are more or less same as an actor. But 20% of those films are really different. And those films are not very well received by many people. They are art house films. They are films in which not many people knows about those films also. So it's really strange that popular films where he become a well-known actor are overrated to my mind, but his film in which he has really performed well are underrated films. So you have to be very clear. Clearly point out the reason of his overrating. Why you think he is overrating? There is a reason for it. You need to think about it. Compare with any of his other performance where he did a good job and was underrated. As I said, that Irfan, in case of Irfan, for example, somebody today sent me in WhatsApp about a book by Asim Chhabra. Asim Chhabra happens to know he's a theatre critic, he's a film critic based in US. So he has written a book on the Irfan. But I really need to read that book to comment about the capability of that book. One book which I have mentioned about the Soumitra Chatterjee, I have gone through that book. And I really loved some of the sentences mentioned in that book about various films. And if you could just write down those sentences in your answer, whichever film you choose, I'm sure you will get out of 10, at least 8 marks. At least 8. 2 you have to add of your own. Everything is not written down by other people. You have to add your own perception. So this comparison will help you about underrated work and all that. And compare with other actors, same genre, similar performances. Now, when you think of the, say, for example, Jitendra, his voice was not really good, not really amazing. But there are some other actors whose voice were really good. Some actors were more romantic, even if their voice was not good. So think of the 60s actors. Why certain actors were more romantic, despite the fact they were not the brilliant actors, but still considered as a great romantic actors. So analyze the impact on audience. This is a very important thing. Fan following. Rajesh Khanna was given the status of superstar because he has a big fan following. When he married to Dimple, many people cut their waist and some commit suicide. I heard about it. I read it somewhere. So I just quote one example, Varun Dhawan. This poor boy, I picked up one film called Badlapur. Badlapur is a film by an acquaintance of mine, Shriram Raghavan. I like his work, but for some strange reason, Badlapur, I felt that Varun Dhawan could not really deliver a performance. Throughout the film, he is angry. From the very beginning till end, he remained angry. So I don't know, but at least I didn't like Varun Dhawan in that particular film. I'm specifically talking about. So that's one thing. We'll move a little further. Art versus entertainment, that was also one of the questions. Longest running debate, what is your view? I have just mentioned few points, whether you like them or not, but maybe you don't need to mention so many points. In a question of 5 marks, you need to mention 5 points and move further. That has to be the philosophy in terms of the answering a question. So, is cinema a art or a entertainment? Is a film is an art or a film is an entertainment? What do you think? So that's what the examiner is asking. So now here you need to talk about in a little sense of the term called art versus entertainment. Do you want to act in a do you want to make a film because it's a piece of art, or you want to make a film? Is it an entertainment or it is a business? I would use another word called business. Art versus entertainment versus business. So here I could reformulate the question next time if I ask you, is the cinema a art form or a business? How you would answer it. Now the answer would be different. This answer would be different. This is the answer where we're talking about entertainment. We are not talking about the used word called business. Business is a different thing. Business has a different thing. Here we are talking about the entertainment. So art is the application or expression of human creative skill and imagination into various outlined branches like painting, music and literature, and dance. That's what we think of an art form. Basically, that's what an art is. But entertainment is the action of providing or being provided with amusement and enjoyment, action, event or activity to entertain or amuse in a public interest. अब आप मेले के अंदर जाते हैं और झूला झूल रहे हैं, बड़ा मजा आ रहा है झूला झूलने में. हम जब छोटे थे तो एक सर्कुलर झूला होता था, उसके अंदर एक घोड़े, छोटे से घोड़े के ऊपर बैठ जाओ तो बड़ा मजा आता था उसके अंदर. तो it's a entertainment. It's a entertainment. So art and entertainment has two different things. And is the cinema is an art form or is it an entertainment form? Now you need to decide. अब झूले के ऊपर तुम छोटे से घोड़े के ऊपर बैठे हो तो उसमें क्या आर्ट है? कोई आर्ट वार्ट नहीं है उसके अंदर. अगर आप झूले में, वो सर्कुलर झूले में झूल रहे हो, ऊपर जाते हो फिर नीचे जाते हो, उसमें क्या आर्ट है? एंटरटेनमेंट है. बट इन सिनेमा यू आर ऑल्सो बीइंग एंटरटेन्ड. बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, इफ यू लुक लिटिल डीपली, it also has a artistic value. That's why we call a great performer. That's why we call it as a great composer. That's why we call it as a great cinematographer. That's why we call it as a great editor, great sound designer, great musician, great director overall. So there is something called art connected with this entertainment form. Cinema is an entertainment form in which is enveloped by something called art. So entertainment makes us feel good, whereas art transforms us, break our heart, make us cry. क्या होता है कि वो एक स्क्रीन जो झूठ मूठ का स्क्रीन है और आप जो है अपने आंसू जो है निकल आते हैं और आप पहुंचते हैं. मेरे साथ ऐसा होता है. मेरे साथ पिछले 25 साल में केवल एक बार को छोड़ के 25 years, if I ever cried, I cried only in the cinema hall. तो क्या ऐसा होता है कि सिनेमा हॉल के अंदर a hardcore person like me would cry? There is something else. So making someone cry is not an instantaneous phenomena, which means like a joke. I crack a joke and you laugh. I would crack a joke in 2 minutes and you will start laughing. But do it happen within 2 minutes I'll make you cry? No. Crying is a process. I will take you slowly, 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 and at one point I mesmerize you so much that you have no option but to cry. And that's an art of a director. That's where a director stands out. Even if it is a melodrama, even if it is a nonsense film, I would say, commercial film, some Bollywood Shah Rukh Khan kind of film, if out of 100 people, 50 people start crying, it's an art. Maybe I will not cry, but in some other film, I would cry. So screen has that power to make the audience cry. That's why I use this word here called cry. But at the same time, it transforms us. Sometimes you watch a film and you really start feeling for the character. You are not the same person when you come out of the film. It has happened a couple of times with me. Also, after watching some theatrical production, I am no more the same. So it affects you. It triggers something inside your mind and your process and your body, and your chemistry of the body is being disturbed. So entertainment is predictable pleasure, art is not. These are the some differences I have jotted down from here and there. Predictable pleasure. आपको पता है कि झूला झूलने जा रहे हो तो बड़ा मजा आएगा उसमें. आपको पता है पहले से. But once you're going to watch a film, you don't know whether you would like it or not. You're going to art exhibition, you don't know. You're reading a novel, you don't know whether you would like it or not. So all the literature, painting, music also sometime, or not sometime, many a times, whether you would like it or not. So there is no predictability factor is there. You may like it and you may not like it. Entertainment is about getting response from the people, where art is more internal. What does it mean? I have seen a film which is being liked by a friend who is also very art lover, cine buff, and I also know another person who disliked that particular film, who is equally art lover and whom I equally respect. So how two people have a different opinion about the same film? So it is a personal. So it is very, very personal, and sometime something you like it, another person don't like it. So it is internal. Art is more internal. When I say more internal, means if I watch yesterday I was listening to a lecture by someone about Van Gogh's painting about sunrise. And after that, Van Gogh committed a suicide after writing a letter because he realized that there's nothing else I can paint. Because he could not get into an internal world where you could paint forever in your life. He always was in the external world. What is outside? So internally, are you able to be disturbing someone? Are you able to transform someone? Are you able to touch someone? Very often you will hear this term in English language that somebody's gestures touched you. You said something, or you did something, or you gifted a small thing to someone which may not have a big price, but person said that you was touched. It's a different way of saying it. So touching someone internally, art has that capability. Entertainment is about passive receiver, but art about your soul to awake. आप जाते हो झूले में झूलने, आप जाते हो कुछ और करने, कोई भी किसी टाइप का भी एंटरटेनमेंट है. बंदर का तमाशा भी एंटरटेनमेंट है. छोटा सा सर्कस देखने जाते हैं आप, कोई बड़ा सर्कस देखने जाते हैं, आपको पता है इट्स ऑल एंटरटेनमेंट. बट you are not going to be disturbed after watching some tamasha or something else, because it do not touches you. So anything which touches you, if you ask me why do I like this painting, if you ever go to Amsterdam, I've been to Amsterdam once only, and Van Gogh Museum has the maximum longest line I have ever seen in my life. People are standing very quietly with their Coke or Pepsi or maybe beer and very relaxed like a tourist. I'm talking about almost 20 years back. And there's no bhid bhadakka, koi dhakka de raha hai kisi ko ghusne ke liye. 20 people will go inside and 20 people comes out, then another 20 people go. So you stand for 3 hours in that queue to watch those colorful paintings in your life. And you don't need any explanation why Van Gogh is a great painter. You look at those colorful paintings and colors are restored so brilliantly, even today. So what I need to say is that a painter becomes great because of certain things. So talking about the art is more internal, it touches you, it is more about your internal feeling, and maybe when you are alive, you are not being appreciated, but once you die, there's a museum having a longest queue, which I have seen from my own eye. So that's one aspect of the art. Van Gogh is one of the greatest painter in the entire century, I would say. So there are many more, you may not agree, but there are others also, but he is one of them. Entertainment has a market of consumerist in nature. अगर आप कोई काम कर रहे हो तो आपको पता है कि ये इस चीज का ऐसे हुआ. आपने कोई गेम निकाला सीडी के ऊपर, तो आपको पता है ये गेम को ये लोग खरीदेंगे. So there is a target audience involved over there. So there is a consumer is there who is going to consume that kind of entertainment. But art creates a market of its own. आज मैंने कुछ पेंटिंग्स बनाई, एग्जीबिशन हुआ, मे बी 20 साल बाद 30 साल बाद लोग उसको अप्रिशिएट करें. आज मैंने कोई फिल्म बनाया, 30 साल बाद उसको लोग अप्रिशिएट करें, हो सकता है 50 साल बाद करें. So it will create its own market. It is not popular. Popular का क्या मतलब होता है? There's a difference. Kabir was a popular poet, I would say. Kabir was a speaking in the ordinary people's language. But अगर आप भागवत गीता को उठा लो तो उसमें 2 श्लोक के अलावा तीसरा श्लोक आपको याद नहीं होगा जिंदगी. कोशिश करना आज याद करने की. 2 श्लोक आपको पता होंगे जो मोस्ट पॉपुलर श्लोक है. एक किताब जो सबसे बड़ी किताब मानी जाती है, जिसको डिवाइन गीता माना जाता है, गीता के ऊपर हाथ रख के कसम खाता हूं कि मैं जो भी कहूंगा सच सच कहूंगा, सच के अलावा कुछ नहीं कहूंगा. उस किताब के 2 श्लोक केवल लोगों को पता है. सो इट्स नॉट पॉपुलर, इट इज नॉट पॉपुलर. बट अगर आप लोगों से दोहे पूछेंगे कबीर के तो शायद आपको 6-7 दोहे याद आ जाए. So that's another thing, popular versus very, very specific. So it's not necessarily something will be popular. So entertainment has amusing, happy, comical approach towards it. Art has a wide range of emotion. हो सकता है आप उसमें कुछ मजा आए, कुछ हंसे आप लोग जाके, कुछ ऐसा हो. मैंने अपनी जिंदगी में एक फिल्म केवल 6 बार देखी है. अपनी जिंदगी के अंदर सिनेमा हॉल पे एक फिल्म 6 बार देखने गया, and that was called Angur, directed by Gulzar. When I was a kid, I loved that film so much that I watched that film 6 times on cinema hall. I have never seen a 6 time any film. So it has a comical value. Whenever I went over there, I laughed. So that's something which attracted to me as a child. But since the point is comical here, so I'm mentioning it. Entertainment has the power of reaching a mass, like people like me who are kids who love to watch something like that. Art is more about individual understanding. Now, when I was a young, I used to go to Chanakya Cinema in Delhi to watch some martial art film. Film like 26 Chamber of Shaolin, some kung fu kind of film. So when I grew up, I realized that what the nonsense I was watching. But there's an age in which you like certain kind of film. Then you grow up, you go to FTI. If today you ask me to watch this film called 20th some Chamber of Shaolin, I would not be able to watch it. Though it has action, I would like to watch Yang Yumu's film, say Hero, or another film called House of Flying Dagger, but I would not be able to watch the 36 Chamber of the Shaolin today. So you grow and your taste improve, and someday you would like to watch the same action thing, but in a more framed for you in an artistic manner. So that's another thing. Art is a very, very important thing to serve the entertainment in an interesting way. Art is temporary, changing with time. Entertainment is temporary, changing in time. As I said, I would not go to watch the 36 Chamber of the Shaolin and Shogun's Ninja and Snake in the Monkey's Shadow, this nonsense film called Snake in the Monkey's Shadow. I still remember this film after so many years, almost 40 years or 35 years. But your entertainment is temporary. For me, that film was entertainment today, and I would not be able to watch it again, changing with time. But art is permanent. Means if you really like something, say for example, reading the Phaneshwanath Renu story 30 years back, you would still like to read it again. So that's another thing. Art can bring a change in the world. That's a very, very important thing. In human being, it changes your creative exploration and helps to bring the best out of you. And that's important aspect of the art. So why many people who have too much money, they come into the filmmaking. They produce the film. Bharat Shah Film presents. There was a name called Bharat Shah, who was a diamond merchant, and he presented many films. He was a diamond merchant, was a big man. So you have all the money in your life, now what to do? So you want to be acknowledged because you have the money by the artist. So you fund their films, you present in their ribbon cutting ceremonies. People would love to look at you, get your picture done along with you. But if you don't have money, nobody would like to get a picture done with you. So commerce has a value, but art is more valuable. That's a few points which I have pointed out over here. I would quickly go to 703 is already there. I started 10 minutes late. So I would finish it off quickly, this censorship business. Censor Board of Film Certification. Now read the question carefully. It was a 5 marks only. CBFC is not only responsible for giving certification to the film, but also accountable to preserving culture and tradition of India. तो ट्रेडिशन और कल्चर को सेंसर बोर्ड का सर्टिफिकेट कैसे प्रिजर्व करेगा? आपने कभी सोचा? सेंसर बोर्ड के सर्टिफिकेट से क्या लेन देना है? एक फिल्म बन गई, बात खत्म, उसको ए सर्टिफिकेट दे दो, बी दे दो, जी दे दो, जो भी उसके कैटेगरीज हैं दे दो, हटाओ। हमारा काम तो ये है कि हमको सर्टिफिकेट बांटना है फिल्म के हिसाब से, बट नो, if you really read the guidelines of the censor board, if you go into their website, read it about it. I'm leaving it to you people, but briefly I'm telling you that it is not about just giving a certification. They look deeply, of course it's debatable, they deeply look into whether this is going to be a film which is going to glorify the violence, it is showing the involvement of children in the violence, पता लगा बच्चे मर्डर कर रहे हैं, कुछ छोटा छोटा बच्चे लोग जो है स्मगलिंग में लगे हुए हैं, छोटे छोटे बच्चों को आप दिखा रहे हैं कि वो कुछ चोरी करने में लगे हुए हैं, they promoting the thief and breaking these ATMs and things like that. Cruelty against animal is a very, very important thing. Very, very important thing. There's a particular department, they look into it. And these kind of thing, censor board would look. Scenes of violence to desensitize. मैंने कुछ बॉक्सिंग के मैचेस देखे हैं जिसके अंदर लोगों को खून निकल रहा होता है, ब्लड निकल रहा होता है, and everybody is crying, everybody is enjoying it, they're clapping it. I never understood how the people enjoy that violence. It is about breaking somebody's face. It is about breaking that man. Some WWF kind of some these contests. People are bidding on them and people are enjoying it. But to me, enjoying this kind of violence where you really kill someone, almost about to kill someone, is something strange. But that's how the people are. But they are not a part of the film. If you do it in a film, then you will get a censor. But yes, कुछ private चल रहा है अपना इधर उधर कहीं कुछ तो लोग अपना देख रहे हैं, टीवी पे चल रहा है, all that is fine. But censor board has a responsibility. So scene tending to encourage, justify, glamorize the drug addiction, drinking, smoking, human sensibilities are not affected by vulgarity. All these terms and conditions are mentioned on the website of the censor board. I would request that let's not waste, I'll read these guidelines which are mentioned on the censor board, and then you will be able to connect with the question. Okay. So here I would stop for today. Before 77 people will become 47 people at the end. First of all, I would launch the poll, and then you can say goodbye and leave, and then I will take up the question one by one by the student who would be interested in asking their queries, their doubts. So first of all, I am launching the poll. So 77 people who has to attend some date with the Shah Rukh Khan or with some Katrina Kaif, they can leave, and rest can remain here. So please press the button of this class and you could leave. Thank you very much for your devoting 1 hour to me.